There is basically a protest that is happening down in Florida where the students are the ones. Shout out to you. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. The students had to stand up for the things that the adults wouldn't do. The students had to stand up for the things that the adults refused to address. Let me bring y'all back down to Florida. Shout out to Event Horizon. I'm going to read that super chat shortly.
They filled the field at Monarch High School, students in support of transgender athletes and in protest of the reassignment of their school principal staging a class walkout. Hundreds gathering, holding signs, and chanting phrases like "Trans Lives Matter" and "Bring Back Cecil."
We all have to work on...
Monarch's principal, James Cecil, reassigned because of a transgender girl athlete who was biologically born a boy, transitioned to a female, and then played on the girls' volleyball team, and that would be a violation of state law.
All right, I got it wrong. Let me repivot. I thought that this was the other way around. This is worse. This is worse. I thought that this was the other way around, but it's actually the opposite. Let me bring myself to the front of the congregation. I'm going to have to go ahead and start. Because, see, one of the things that I like to do is I like to review this in real time so that we can have a conversation, and then hopefully I can add context. And I'm just as surprised a lot of the time for the stuff that I see pop up on my live stream as you guys, but it's the opposite. Okay, so let me get this correct. The kids are protesting because a biological boy then at some point either transitioned or identified as a girl and then was playing sports. And because that is a violation against whatever sports rules that they have down in Florida, they had to stop it. And so the children are the ones protesting in favor of it. So the world is going to hell in a handbasket at an accelerated pace. You do know that these kids are the leaders of tomorrow. I believe the children of the future. You do. Listen, these are our future CEOs, COOs, CFOs, CTOs, business owners, fathers, husbands, mothers, aunties, uncles, professionals, human resources, church leaders. These children, kids, are the future, and they're the ones determining, and it is basically staging a walkout, advocating for the thing that women in our society is complaining about. So let me ask a question. If the whole high school boys team decided that they wanted to join the girls' swim team, wrestling team, boxing team, whatever team, soccer team, whatever, and they absolutely destroy the women, is that fair too? Let me watch a little bit more of this so I can understand what's going on.
Listen, our first priority are students.
Broward School Superintendent Peter Licata on the principal's reassignment along with 3 other top staffers.
That's not an indication of discipline. It's an indication that we want to make sure that when we investigate it, it's done properly and appropriately. Again, we want to make sure we do this right. Nobody is guilty of anything at this point.
Are y'all scared of the kids? Oh, wait. Where my belt at? Who outside of school? Who decided to stage a protest because they wanted to advocate and write signs and not go to class in the morning? Who? Is it your kid? Because I'll be mother F if my kid is out there. Oh, this belt don't hit as hard. This that good leather. Hold on. There we go. There we go. It's snap. We got that good leather over here. This that leather that stick around way, way, way after you done went ahead and did some things out here in these streets, man. You could wear this belt, wear somebody's back out, and then put it back on, and then there ain't gonna be one fray on it. This that good leather. It's that cowhide right here. Y'all scared of the children now? The children of the future is out here making y'all reassign yourselves and your staff members. So they just bullied the principal and they bullied all 3 top staff members in the school out of the school. And y'all over here stuttering, talking about what it is that you want to do for the children. Let me guess, the children choose their parents now, huh? The children determine what the parents is going to feed them to eat too, huh? Okay, all right.
That's what an investigation is for.
On the state's High School Athletic Association's pre-participation physical evaluation form, the question of a student's sex assigned at birth appears at the very top, then 2 additional times on the form. Students' opinions today mainly focused on their reassigned principal.
I feel like he didn't really have a part or say in this, and he's a really kind-hearted man, so free Mr. Cecil guy.
Shaniqua. You know I would Anton love the kids. I love the kids, so I don't mind going in and saying what it is that I really think about what these kids is out here doing. Baby girl. Get the strap. Get the strap. Get the strap.
I hope he gets to maybe a better situation. Hopefully this doesn't end badly for him.
Licata involving Tallahassee and the State Department of Education in on this matter.
We initiated that conversation, just to let them know that we're going to go through. They also recommended make sure you go through the process, make sure you be consistent and fair.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, let me back up. I'm going to pull up another video because, Carrie, I'm just as confused as you are. I'm not even going to front. Carrie, I am just as confused as you are. I don't know if they protesting against the principal. I was confused at the very beginning of this because I thought that the kids was advocating against the thing that was worse for them. But apparently they're advocating for it, but the principal is then reassigned. And so I'm trying to understand. So I'm going to pull this part up so that we can have a more context of this situation before we get the strap.
Tonight, the principal and several staff members at Monarch High School have been reassigned due to an investigation into a transgender student playing on a girls' sports team.
And NBC6's Steve Litz has been looking into the allegation. He's live in Coconut Creek with more on this one. Steve?
Hi, Jackie. Hi, Juwan. This matter was all the talk when classes let out here at Monarch High School in Coconut Creek earlier today. There was a Florida law, guys. It's called Fairness in Women's Sports Act, and district officials say it may have been violated, and the principal and several staff members are being singled out. The principal at Monarch High School in Coconut Creek reassigned amidst a culture controversy. James Cecil facing additional disciplinary action for what school district officials call a possible violation of state law. A transgender female student, that's a biologically born boy, transitioning to a girl and playing on a girl's team.
Outside hitters.
Students say it involved the volleyball team, featured prominently on the school's YouTube account. Students have their opinions.
I mean, I don't agree with that. He shouldn't be able to play on the team. If he's a biological boy, I don't think he should be able to play on a girl.
Finally, somebody that stands up. Enrique over here. Shout out to Enrique. Finally, somebody that stands up and say, you know what? I don't agree. I'm still confused at what position that the principal is standing on and what side of the fence that he's on and why he's being reassigned in the first place. But you got one kid of all of the people that I've seen on this segment of the show that said, listen, I don't agree. I don't agree with the fact that if you are a biologically born male, that you should be able to play on the women's team. Okay, so finally we got somebody that was raised with some sense. Let me continue so that I can get the full context before I give my thoughts.
Girls team.
If we were to sit here and just get them to go to the boys basketball team, then it would look like we aren't like supportive of people's, perspectives on things, or like being a girl or a boy or whatever. And this school is like really big on like LGBTQ plus clubs and stuff like that. So it kind of would look like more hypocritical on our part.
Back in 2021.
So the boy stood on business like he was T.I.'s son. The boy stood on business, and then the girl, do y'all see what's happening in our society? Honestly, look, if you want to see the truth of what's truly happening within our culture, and when I say culture, I mean Western culture, all you got to look is how it trickles down into the children. If you want to see what's happening within our culture, when you send your kid to a public school, when you send your child to a public school, you then not only get to see the way in which these children are being raised in their household, now coming into a melting pot, because the kids are the ones that pay for the sins of their parents, right? But you also get to experience how our schools publicly, that is funded with public dollars by the people. Now remember, let's remember this here, y'all, because they want to take God out of the schools. They've already done it. They took prayer out of the schools. They took God out of the schools, and they want to even remove God off of your money. Let me say it again. They took prayer out of the schools. They said that we're going to have a separation between church and state. They took God out of the schools, but they want to be all inclusive when it comes to the things that God is against scripturally. I want to be very, very clear. So now your public dollars that you have to spend with your property taxes and so on and so forth are now being allocated in order to fit an agenda for your children to go into, even if it's against your will, and be subjected to, regardless of where you stand as a parent. Because some people don't have the ability to be able to take their kids out of a specific district or send them to private school or to homeschool them and all of this other type of stuff. So you're subjected to it. And this is why we have to be very, very vigilant of what our cultural norms are. And you can't just say, well, it don't really affect me what happens. No, it does, because it's going to trickle down into your social norms that then indoctrinate your children, because your children are going to be out of the household going into these environments for the next 8 hours every single day. They are going in and they're being trained to think a certain way. And even if you then input into them a certain thing when they get home, they go home and they get beat with it, and they get beat with it, and they get beat with it, and they get beat with it every single day. Every single day. I know grown men that have no interest in cheating or stepping outside of their environment. But when you continue to put a naked woman in front of them, or a woman that continues to say to him every single day, and she working out, she trying, and she shooting her shot every single day, she say, hey, sexy, hey, beautiful, can I buy you lunch? What's going on with you? Is everything okay? And she hits you and it's multiple women every day. Hit you. What do you think eventually is going to happen to some of the men? Not all. Some of them is able to withstand, and they just able to stand on their square. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that that they not affected by it, or they got to pull something up out of them sometimes in order to do so. But what do you think is going to happen if they continue to put themselves in an environment that subject them to a lifestyle that's not conducive to what it is that they need in order to sustain a household? And so when you take kids whose brains, scientifically, their brains are not even fully developed until they're in their early to mid 20s, and you continue to condition them, and you condition them, and you condition them, and you condition them, you condition them, you condition them, you condition them, you condition them every single day, what do you think is going to happen? And now the compromising is playing out right in front of you. So she's basically saying, listen, we don't want people to think that this school ain't all inclusive, because we got a lot of clubs that actually allow for people to do what they want to do. Right after the boy said no. And she got her baby hair swooped over.
People's, perspectives on things, or like being a girl or a boy or whatever. And this school is like really big on like LGBTQ plus clubs and stuff like that. So it kind of would look like more hypocritical on our part.
Back in 2021, the state legislature passed a law addressing this specific matter. It reads in part, athletic teams or sports designated for females, women, or girls may not be open to students of the male sex. A statement of a student's biological sex on the student's official birth certificate is considered to have correctly stated the student's biological sex at birth. The district adding how they are committed to providing students with a safe and inclusive learning environment. And here now is the district statement regarding this matter. The principal at Monarch and several staff members have been reassigned to non-school sites pending the outcome of an investigation into allegations of improper student participation in sports. We did talk with...
Okay, so I got it. The principal is an advocate for that, whatever that is, all right, for the lifestyle that the school is participating in. And they let the biological male then participate in a female sport, okay? The school board did what they were supposed to do. The Broward County Public Schools suspended him or reassigned him and his staff members because they said that, listen, the parents didn't sign up for that. And that's not what the rules are. And you can't just break the rules and do what you want to do when you want to do it. And so what they did was they reassigned them. Instead of firing them, they reassigned them into non-school sites pending the investigation. So they have to investigate the allegations into improper student participation in sports. And then the kids went out and they protested him being suspended because they actually believe that he did the right thing. So the principal then becomes the parent of your children when they're away from school. And you got to be very, very careful. You have to be very, very careful. They don't believe in rules. It only it's mob rules. Mob rules. Rome rules. And so your bad kids is out there protesting and they standing on business, and they're going to be the future leaders of this country.